meeting to order for the Harwich Cemetery Commission at 9 o'clock. We're gonna go out of order and take Jim on the Bank Street Cemetery update.
So I actually divided all the stuff into little things for you, so you can just take out that clip, or yours might be stapled. And it'll start with, is it stapled?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll start with a letter that we received from the neighbor, saying that we could remove the shrubs that were encroaching onto our property, which I'll let Jim speak to. Jim, do you want to come up to the table?
Probably would be better.
Yeah. Only so that people can hear you.
Basically, it's, right now the cemetery is completely cleared to the liking, I hope, of all you fine folk. The shrubs were removed last week. Though we have the letter, as Robin indicated. The lady was contacted, just given notice that we would be showing up, so we didn't start work. And they were all removed, cleaned up. Any of the roots that were erupted from the surface were all snipped. It was all raked out. Then we went in there with one of our small pieces of equipment, raked the entire site, get the sticks. And right now it looks pretty, there's still ivy there, obviously. It looks trampled, looks nice and flat, but it probably will start to sprout anytime with the amount of moisture we have.
Oh yeah, it'll start growing.
The sunshine, the temperatures, so I'm hopeful that it will come back. But it looks nice. Every neighbor that I spoke to was very pleased. They were very happy, very accommodating, no complaints. So it seems like a success to me, at least thus far.
Yeah, we didn't have one complaint from anybody. As a matter of fact, they were all very thankful that we were cleaning it up and, get rid of all of the invasives or whatever in there and the trees that were gonna fall, hopefully saving their own homes and the town money in case it did any damage. But so the next step would be where are we gonna place the fence? And I don't know if we need to do another site visit. That's why later on in the agenda I put Bank Street, put commission possible visit to the cemetery. Because I think now that it's all cleared, it's gonna be a different view for you guys. So I think if we can, after we adjourn the meeting, if we could all go down there and maybe take a peek.
Let me take a quick peek.
Yeah. And Jim had a few suggestions on that.
Oh, regarding the fence?
Yeah.
One of the neighbors in particular, their name escapes me, they're the people who live to the left with the generator. They had the shed.
Oh, yeah, with the white little picket fence.
They were the ones I conversed with mostly. They were very pleased, and they were just asking, about the location of what our intentions were, what style of fence, where it would go. As it stands now, even though it is town property, their landscaper has maintained the grassy part that abuts Bank Street, and I think actually their sprinklers may water it throughout the season. I'm not sure on that, but they maintain it, keep it looking as good as their own grass. My hope to keep them happy is to keep the fence back in the disturbed area. We tried to keep the disruption of that area where the grass is to a minimum. There was truck traffic, but just slight depressions. There was no trees dragged out there, or any machine work out there. It's just a little bit depressed from running over it. But my hope is that we're able to have a reasonable, everyone agrees to keep the fence as back in the disturbed area and not bring it out to the road. As it stands now, we're only aware of one stone. I mean, there is only one stone. We can't say who else is in there. We don't really know.
I'm gonna do some research.
I've heard everything from 1 to 25 to a mass grave, so who knows what the truth is.
Does anybody know who CAB is?
Well, that's what I'm gonna just search all the deeds of these abutters to figure out.
There's how far out, that green, we discussed that when we were over there last time. It's kind of like this little green island that sticks out.
I think when we're out there, it'll be clearer, so.
And we go right to their fence?
We have pretty
That
tight,
little-
that little fence, that's our property. Yeah. So we can go out there and can take a walk around and then you guys can make a decision out there, I think.
Okay.
I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the fence back from Bank Street anyway, quite a ways. 'cause
Yeah,
he'd be able to
well, people
trucks
need,
in.
he'd need to pull in if he was gonna do any maintenance anyways. And, I did, reach out to Fancy Signs, cause they have to fix the one in Island Pond still, and, to see if they could do a mock-up of a smaller sign, cause we wouldn't want it the same size, it's just, would be too overwhelming for that small
No,
area.
yeah, just.
So just a small one, so as soon as she gets that back, I'll put that on the next agenda.
And just for Grant, I mean, I know you can't really see that, but are you gonna go with us?
If you
Or
would like me
meet-
to, I'd
maybe
be
meet
happy
us
to.
over there? if you're
Yeah.
not
I'd be
rep-
happy to. If
Oh,
Robin could just give me the heads up.
You just do it then.
Yeah, perfect.
Be happy to.
We can adjourn now and go now.
Now, no,
Oh, you can't do that.
we gotta
Well, that
get to
looks
all
good,
this
though.
other stuff. Yeah, it does look great,
Place is huge.
It makes it look
much bigger.
That guy's tool shed sticks out now, doesn't it?
So do we wanna go over these, questions at the remote meeting, do you think, Rob, that we talked about?
Questions?
Yeah, you had sent me some questions.
Oh, from when we did our remote
Yeah.
thing.
What's our overall goal and appearance and stuff like that?
Well, it'd probably be easier. I mean, I'm kind of a visual learner anyway,
Yeah.
so I'd rather kind of be looking at it.
I think so too. I think we could say something here and then we'll get out there and it could be totally different than what, yeah. So we'll just save that for the,
I mean, I drove by well, obviously when that picture was taken,
right,
you know, when they were just taking a break, but, I mean, I'm thinking curb appeal for the neighbors, because they've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
so good about this.
yeah,
So we still gotta take all the stumps out and stuff?
No, they're all ground.
They're all gone?
yeah.
I mean, there's few that were uncovered by the rake, like older ones, small ones. There's nothing large. You know, all the way to the rear fence line of the neighbor.
So I took these pictures before that stump grinding one.
Oh, you must have been there just about when I was there. Yeah.
But they were all very pleased,
Yeah.
so it was kinda nice.
Would it be a big deal to go green?
Playing grass across the 124 side.
Square it off.
Yeah, I mean, just for curb appeal.
My only concern
You know, your
is,
mowers and where you're gonna park.
well, that's one of the concerns. Realistically, it's right on the side of Bank Street. There's really no place
Yeah.
to park vehicles. And any grass you plant, you're kind of at the mercy of Mother Nature. We have no way to water it.
Right.
We have no way to do anything with it. So if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it will be a typical kind of Island Pond scenario where it's extremely dusty, which is a concern. You fire up a mower, now dust is going, and people have windows open, and it's just in a really odd spot between houses. I didn't want any more trouble, but anything possible.
Yeah, no, you're right about the sprinkler park.
I did have a phone call at 6:30 this morning from somebody visiting the cemetery, and it was on the stone that is shaped like a basketball.
In
David.
Island Pond,
Yeah.
Gonzales or
Yeah, yeah. He says when it rains, it comes right to their lot, and was wondering if we could take a peek at that. So maybe I can be out there later today. We'll take a look because.
Another issue of berming,
Yeah.
going down the asphalt.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, it needs
and
it
we
all
do
over.
have, I don't know if I told you guys, but, the Master Gardeners wanna use it as a learning classroom, so if we can purchase like a loam and seed, they'll do all the work, cause they have to do so many hours of community service, but, we'll look at these little projects that people are bringing to our attention now, and hopefully we can.
I got a garden that can come over and work on.
I just wanted to mention this, not that it's a topic at hand right now, but I have begun to, actually, one of the people I work with sent me a post from the Harwich PD where the animal control officer, maybe you put it out there, regarding the dogs in the cemeteries, and that they were gonna become more vigilant
Yeah.
about it, and fines would be issued. Obviously, there's a lot of people that walk their dogs in the cemetery. 99% of them are very accommodating. They have the mutt mitts, they pick it up, but I've started to, as I see them, alert them to that and say, no. And they appreciate that. You know, they're sad
Yeah.
because it's a great place to walk a pooch. You know,
Yeah.
you're safe, but they understand. And I just said, I don't want you to get, fined for this.
Yeah.
It's out there now, and people are taking notice.
What's the biggest issue? Which cemetery is the biggest issue? with that?
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
By far,
But yeah, the other cemeteries are not even an issue at all.
Yeah.
As far as the waste left behind. I
Right.
see dogs in every cemetery, but Evergreen is the only one you find. Well, you visit Evergreen regularly. That's the problematic cemetery. Cemetery, the old
Yeah.
cemetery.
Yep, which is unfortunate, and then you see them in there, and you'll say something to them, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, just look at you and roll their eyes, and,
Yeah, they tell you they walk there all the time and they have their bags. I said, that's great, but somebody else may not.
now, the people that I've stopped with do not have bags, and do not care.
So far, they've been very, receptive to it, and they've thanked me for making them aware, because they weren't aware. I mean,
Yeah.
even though it's common sense, and there are signs with the dog, and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's posted, yeah.
yeah, they.
There are
they still,
signs. Yeah.
They've done it for years, and
Okay, so we'll shoot you a text when we leave here and meet you down at
yeah, absolutely.
Bank Street and see what's happening.
Thank you
Otherwise,
guys
it
for
looks
doing
good.
it.
Absolutely.
Looks good.
No problem, it turned out well.
Yep,
So, am I excused?
you're excused,
Unless you
Leading up
have,
to that.
unless you have any other
No.
unless you got anything else.
requests or anything?
You're always welcome to
Thank you.
hang out,
No,
but
no, this is the business end of it, and that's not my specialty.
Okay,
Thank you.
enjoy this
day, Jim.
beautiful weather today.
I will.
Okay, and we have approval of the minutes from,
So we had already approved the January 10th meeting minutes that were inside, but not the
Yeah.
ones that were remote. So I
Yeah,
just,
February 16th.
yeah, which I want to, because I want to post them, because they're great minutes, and they have a lot of visuals for people. And you know how most people like visual stuff. And if you look on the second page of the January 10th, me and Dory already put in an AmeriCorps project to replace the rails at this
oh,
Mahadum.
good. Yeah.
So that's been put in. We'll probably go out and clean it up a little bit as well that day. And then these footstones that are at the South Harwich Meeting House, those were underneath the church when the church was sinking.
Yeah.
And when we restored and lifted the church. So what we're trying to do is, which I'll have to do soon, I mean, it's gonna be nice out. But we have to find out who they belong to. Some of them have initials or a initial on it, like just E for Eldridge, but
Right.
nothing
Which one?
else.
Yeah.
So you have to try to match it to the stone. And I just haven't had time for that, so if anyone wants to do a fun little project with me. Yeah, if not, maybe we can make a little garden out of them and just put some flowers or something in it. I mean, I don't know
just so
what
they're
else.
displayed somewhere.
Right.
And somebody went through the whole trouble of doing all that mess.
That might be a better idea than trying to, because who knows?
Because we could put them in
if
the
we'll
wrong place,
Exactly.
and then it's a mowing thing, that's why a lot of cemeteries take them out, because the mowers can't get between
Yeah.
where the footstones were and the headstones were, because some of the people were a lot smaller
So all
back
these
then.
footstones were set in vertical,
So they were.
not laid flat.
They're not laid flat. So normally they stand up out of the ground about that much, but then it's something for people to trip on, and a lot of cemeteries have taken them out. A lot of municipal ones, at least. Either that or they push them down flush, and then they get,
Then you don't see
eventually you can't see them, they get overgrown with grass, so. I think we could do a little, flower garden or something at the front where there's a little area,
space.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Well, they have that walkway,
Yeah.
from the parking lot, because we were there for the concert the
Yeah.
other day. That walkway from the parking lot to the back door of the church.
Yeah.
On the other side of this.
Yeah.
That would
Maybe
give
over
them
there.
That might be a good idea
Yeah.
to line them on.
Yeah, just lay them flat. If it's a garden, then they'll always get uncovered by whoever.
Yeah.
Cleans it.
But would that be us or them?
Well, I'm on that committee too, so
Just like everyone.
I've been
Do you have
on,
any spare time at all?
oh, I do.
Do I have a motion to accept the meetings, the minutes?
Yeah, I'll move that we accept them.
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Then we have an email from Emily Mitchell.
Yep, on conflict of interest, which, did you get a chance to do?
No.
Yes, okay. So you'll have to log in, but we all completed ours.
Kim's
Which,
got appointments all week.
so I didn't realize now when you log in, when you complete it, it actually sends, because it says Howard, it sends her the copy, so we didn't. So once you do it, you don't even have to
Print
print
or
it.
nothing.
Did you ever
Well-
figure out the second one for you?
Yeah, it was,
It went.
I know, it was weird that it said that.
One's like a 15-minute.
It was just like an acknowledgement.
I
of the
have to
whole thing.
admit, this year's version was way nicer. except that you couldn't go
Yeah.
right arrow.
Yeah,
They won't let you just fly through it?
But it's done much better, and
Did they change the questions?
and I don't want to say anything to jinx it for anybody, but if you don't get 100 on the quiz, you're just like, really? I mean, it's pretty obvious. And one, I think the fourth question, I had to sit there and go, wait a minute, this is this, but it's this, and it's,
Yeah.
but it's pass-fail, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, it's the same questions I've been taking for the
Yeah.
past
But
15,
again, for
20
our
years.
committee, it's like, we're playing along,
yeah.
but this doesn't affect us at all.
Well, it can, a little bit. You don't want
Yes,
to.
yes, I negotiated with you to get my friend
I know.
10% off
I
his
know.
burial plot. What? Sorry.
So the next email was from Mike from AmeriCorps for an individual placement for next year. I did attend this in person on Monday the 3rd. They had it at the Barnstable County Complex, and it was in a different room this time. They were doing all sorts of training there at that complex. They had people that were from the health department were in another room. Like, I saw people from the town, and I walked into that room first. They're like, oh, wrong room, Robin, keep going. But it was very well done, and they have done a lot of outreach, so we might get our person back for 2 days rather than just the one for next year, because they've been doing a lot of outreach, which is kind of nice.
Got an email from Kara McWhinney.
Yeah. Kara is the new cultural, what is her title? She is the Director of Cultural Affairs for the cultural districts. And she is, and during Art Week, they want to do a tour over at Island Pond, and they were looking for artists or writers or something. So I actually have a lot of those already in my prominent residence file. So I'm going to send her over that, and to see if she wants any more research, I'll help her with that. But probably have already 30 or so people. So she probably wants to just take a walk, and I can bring her to the grave sites, and then she can pick
What
who
was
she
the
wants to.
controversy last year? Was it music?
I think so.
We wanted to do music,
Yeah.
and they
so-
didn't want us to do music,
Yeah, okay.
even though every other cemetery does, so.
Yeah.
And Laura Brown for the upcoming Munis training.
Yeah, so we have, Munis is our payroll budgeting. We type our invoices in it. It's everything we do for the town. They've upgraded the software to Tyler Technologies. And we all have to go for training. A lot of the training is when I'm on my vacation. So I won't be able to attend a whole bunch of it, but I've already logged in, and they give you self-training that you can do, so I've been doing those as well. So it's I've logged in, I saw it's got a new home screen, it's more looks like an app now, it's got all different like pictures you can click on, and you can put your favorites in something that you only use, so you don't have to go through all the other menus. So it's a little bit different, and it's a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Is that anything that would help us understand it better?
Probably not.
Okay.
Do we have any other business? Correspondences and
Oh,
associates and that kind
well,
of stuff?
we did, so it's at the end of the packet, so when we and Dory went over it's the last thing I think in the packet. When we went over precision signs, and we were going off which ones were gonna be mounted on the trees and which ones were gonna be in the ground. A couple of them, we went to the cemetery, and we decided that they were probably too young of trees, so we didn't want to, it should be the very last thing almost.
Oh, it's a bill?
It looks like a bill. It's a quote, yeah, it's green. So anyway, so if you look at the end of the cemetery revolving account, the initial one that you guys approved for the tree tags was $2,497.95. It's now $2,788.65. That being said, we added like 15 or 20 more tags, because we had a lot of really mature oak trees or maple trees that were in other areas of the cemetery that we wanted to label, that we weren't labeling because we were just picking one of each species. So we've got a couple doubles or triples, really, so that all of the trees that are of significant size could all have a tag on them. So that if somebody was walking they wouldn't have to be over in one area just to see that tree. They could see them in different areas. So you guys just need to approve the change in price. So it's up $300 about.
That's for extra signs and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we approved that $300 increase to precision
okay.
signs.
okay. Does anybody want to second that?
I will.
Indeed.
All in favor?
Aye.
And AmeriCorps Cape Cod put in a work order for that. They will be coming out with their members along with Russ Norton, who is the arborist for Cape Cod Cooperative Extension. He is gonna make sure that they're all put on the correct trees, so he's meeting us earlier in the day, and we'll just put it comes with all the hardware and everything. So we'll just put it at each one of the trees, and then he'll assist the AmeriCorps members in installing the tree tags. We do have in June, we're doing a tour for the Master Gardeners. And we gave them a sheet. They filled out the whole first sheet, and it's on a second sheet now. I think we have 50 people touring, so we might need a couple more people to help us with that walk. But at our next meeting, I'll bring all the information so that you guys have that. But they're very excited about the project and getting involved and helping us out with the Arboretum, so I'm excited about that.
Cool, now, on to old business. Update totals for the revolving account?
Okay, so I just gave you our sheet because Munis is always, we're just getting like February's totals. So I like to have all of the up-to-date totals, that's why I do it on this sheet. So you'll notice at the bottom where it says encumbered, the software for Evergreen is now at $20,000 because up at the top on 9/6, we paid him $10,000. Okay, so then today we're gonna pay for the mower, because the mower's coming in, or it's already in.
Yeah, it's
So
already
that,
here, yeah.
so that's down here, will then move up to the top. I do have some hardscape stuff in the packet that I will give you in a minute, or it's probably in the back of yours. And then the tree removal, and then the tags and the Bank Street fence. So all of that stuff should be happening before the end of this fiscal year, so I just wanted to have you
You
guys.
already paid the tags?
We have not paid the tags, no, they're just encumbered.
But I mean, there's no penalty for the
No,
3/8
no,
date?
No. So, and I said to him, if I wanted to know if he wanted me to get a PO, he's like, no. You're a municipality, I know you're gonna pay me, but other places, they usually require a deposit. He also is very excited about these tree tags, and they're gonna be using our tree tags as their example for the tree tags going forward. Was a lot of work
So
with.
that's a 10% discount, right?
Yeah, so with Dory did a lot of the work, verifying every single leaf and all the descriptions and the scientific name and common name. She, went back, we must have like 10 emails going back and forth where she found little errors here and there, and we're very happy with the final product, so hopefully there are no errors. I mean, she's gone over it so many times, and then I went over it a couple times, but we're excited that they'll be in the next 3 weeks, so great, that's gonna be great.
That'd be cool.
And then I put the little budget in, our budget, which is just the water, dues and subscriptions, supplies, my cell phone, and then my clothing allowance, which I'm actually going to buy some new boots. My other boots are all dinged up, so gotta get a new pair. So I think we still have $2,026.97 available to us. And right when we turn on the water, which will be in the next week or two, we'll use up most of this $1,000 that we have left before July on the water. We still have money left in the dues and subscriptions and conference money, which I'm going to the conference in the end of June. That will be at next month's meeting as well. And that's in Concord, Mass. I'm gonna bring all that stuff in case any of you guys wanna go to that. It's the day after Father's Day, that's the only bummer. It's gonna be quite the program. It's a very historic one. We're doing a lot of historic walking tours, but they have a great program. So I'll put that in the packet. with all the pricing for next meeting. And supplies, we're over by $185, but we can just take that out of one of the other buckets. And then, that's it for our up-to-date account. I sold an additional lot that's not on there, for $4,800, which will add to that total as well.
We got the Veterans Memorial Circle, hardscape.
Yeah, so if you, so I went out to, originally out to bid for the whole hardscape as a whole. And a lot of them, like Rocky Clark and a few of the other guys, are not granite dealers. So for them to buy it from somebody, they would then have to mark it up. Then they would have to have a third party involved. So I contacted 3 different people and asked them to give us a quote. Of course, Tommy was the only one who did it. Because for them, it's just not a big enough job. But if you look at the end, to have the flagpole holder, which is the majority of them, it's with a circular granite ring around it. The shipping's $2,300 because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
But it's $20,100. So I really think that we should order it because we will not get it in enough time for Veterans Day if we do not.
So this is just the main big hunk in the middle.
Yeah, and then if we wanted to get the other rings, we could. So the other ring is, we don't have to order that right now, but we do have to order this. So if you guys wanted to go out and try to see if we can get other people to get the flat piece, which is just regular masonry granite, we could do that. I don't have a problem with that. But this part, I contacted Brian Devaney, I forget the name of his company. He's in Brewster. He's like, Robin, I don't, it's not, because it's not really, it's a different type of granite that they use for the flagpoles, which is not something that they regularly do. He says it would just be more of a headache for me coordinating with the flag people to get the flag to go inside the center of it and to set it up. And then I contacted Mackey Monuments, and she said the same thing. I was like, so I reached out to 3 different people and nobody. And then Rocky was like, he called 1 million people to try to get people to bid on it, and he couldn't. Just this part of it, not the flat pieces that go around where the lights are going or the other flags, but the actual beveled thing that goes up, that the American flag sits in.
Who does the flag company use? Do
The
they
flag company doesn't.
They don't recommend anybody?
No, and I went out, a couple of them, most of their flags are just set right in the ground with a little coupling thing on it. But you guys wanted it to look more like the one in Waltham, which is amazing, to be perfectly honest with you. And this has got to be the focal point of the whole thing. So I don't think that we should cheap out on this one little piece.
So this part here is everything around the American flag,
Correct, and it's big,
out to the lights.
out to the lights, yeah.
And then what, then are they bidding on the other granite part that holds the 6
So we
flags?
could get all the other hardscape just from every other landscaping company. So I did have like Apex, Rocky, I think, oh God, what's his name? He's on Queen Anne Road.
Stonewood?
Dan, no, oh God, I can't even think of his name. That's
Larry?
terrible. Oh, Larry, yeah. So there's a whole bunch of people that are gonna bid if we just do the hardscape. Nobody just wanted to do this part, because they don't do that. And it's a lot of coordination with the flag company to make sure the flag, you gotta do all the foundation stuff there, and they just didn't wanna do it.
Do we not have to have 3?
I did
Bids
reach
on
out
it?
to 3 people, so, and I have their emails telling me that they are not bidding on it,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I think as long as it's,
So that covers that.
that covers that.
Okay, that's cool. So
Sounds like it.
it'll be 20,000 for
Yeah,
the main base.
so I really feel like if you, either that, or I think then we should, if we don't do this, I think we should not do it and just do it flat, like the other flag company installs it. I just think that it would be unfortunate to Yeah, you're looking at how much money we have?
Well, where's it gonna come from?
So, we have spent, our expenditures for the year are only at 29. We can spend up to $100,000 a year out of this account. And we still have,
Out of what account?
this is a cemetery revolving account.
Yeah, and we still have how much?
So this is, our available balance today, but not counting the 4,800 I'm depositing. We have 28. With everything that although we've put in $40,000 for the hardscape. So we could use 20,000 of that. And then the other part probably isn't gonna happen until after July 1st anyways.
Wasn't this covered on the CPC article we got?
No,
No.
not the hardscape.
All the monuments and stuff.
So the $40,000, what is that round number covering?
So that was supposed to cover the bricks and this part. I didn't realize this was gonna be this big, but
Which part?
the $20,000. So now it was supposed to cover the bricks and the flagpole over.
So we have $30,000 we can spend out of,
No, we have $30,000 after we spend out all of this. I think that can't be right.
The flagpoles have been paid for?
Yeah, the flagpoles are, they're paid for by the CPC, not by us. That's in a different bucket. Which they're dying for us to install, so
Oh,
they can
sure,
get that off
yeah.
their list.
So this amount was not budgeted. It
So
wasn't
I put
originally.
in $40,000 originally, because I thought that's how much the hardscape would be.
Right.
But then we added, originally it was just supposed to be brick. Totally, with nothing. And then, remember, we then viewed the Waltham one, and we decided, you guys decided, that you wanted it to make it to look more like a focal point, like originally it had the gazebo, and then we changed it around.
does this include any of the engraving we're gonna have done on that?
No. We can engrave it later, you can engrave it in place, and we can do that down the line.
So how much do we have in revolving account total?
Well, right now we have 106, 982, 15.
106. Probably should do it if that's the route we wanna go.
Well, we don't have 106,000.
This is our balance right here.
We have 28,000.
Now, these are just, so if we pay all of these down, in our account, we have $106,000, that's how much is in it. But we are encumbering these totals right here. 40 of it was for hardscape. This is our balance in the account, 106.
Yeah, but you've got encumbered stuff.
So, I know, I'm just gonna check it because it doesn't seem like that is that much money. 106, 182.
60, 77 from 106 is 30. So that number 28,643 is probably right.
Okay,
Spreadsheets don't lie.
okay.
The input does.
Well, I didn't know if I didn't do a column correct.
No. So, well, what I'm getting, see, this is what, the reason I'm sensitive to this is what bit me voting, oh yeah, let's buy that. We got $106,000.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about it. No, we have 28,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, all right, my gut reaction is, I want to know what this $40,000 is going for. Line by line, I want to know where, that's just me.
Right,
Well, that
I mean, I
40,000,
don't want to be a stick in the mud. I'm just.
right.
No,
so the 40,000 we put here
Appreciate
should cover this plus the rest of the hardscape.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, we're gonna have to figure out, I won't know till I get all the bids in.
Well, this is such a big project. I think it's time that this become Veterans Memorial Circle. And this as much has been bought, paid for. This is what we're working on. These are bids that are out. Just me. I mean,
That's a great
I feel
idea.
lost looking at this number going, I mean, right now I go spending $20,000 out of the 28,000. And heaven forbid something else comes up. I'm like, well, no. But that's,
Okay.
I'm
I agree.
tight ship. I just,
I'll-
Especially nowadays
I know,
with
but
the
all I'm saying is,
stock market.
I know how long it's gonna take for that to come
oh,
in.
and I don't, that's what I mean. I
Yeah,
don't want to
so
stop all
that's
this.
the
I just-
problem. If
Well,
we
maybe we
don't-
need to meet again.
Right,
Are you going away? I'm not going anywhere. You going away? You're going away.
I'm gonna wait
Off
for
and
2 weeks.
I'm not going anywhere till beginning of May.
Right.
Camping, but that's about it.
And you leave when?
I leave Friday.
And no vacation should cancel. Says the guy always fighting for you to have time off.
How much more do you think the rest of the hardscape will cost?
I don't know, I don't do that work, so I.
What does it include? What's the rest of the
So,
hardscape?
so we can do, and we can do the hardscape in segments, we don't have to do all the hardscape at once. We could do, just install the flags and put in the granite part, right? And then we could have a grass for this year, and then next year we could
Add all
do
the brick in the
we could
middle.
add the brick next year.
So if
We
we
don't
just,
have to, for Veterans Day, we do not have to have the whole thing, like,
so if we did
finished.
this plus that other ring that held the 6 flags, then grass everything else and then do the brick after the first of the year.
or next year.
I still don't, what's the 40,000?
It was a
approved for?
it was a guesstimate, it was not approved for anything, it was just a placeholder, just so that we knew that we needed money for the hardscape. And originally, remember Rocky gave us a quote,
Yeah, that was, yeah.
which was way too cheap, so I doubled what he quoted us. So, and I just put that number in there.
What's this Tommy thing here on the backside?
So that's if we wanna get, if you,
The 24/9?
that's for the 2-piece circular cut as sketches provided with the drill holes in them for the flags. So if we just did this and this, it would be 44,900.
So the 24 is just the granite ring to put the 6 flags in.
Yeah,
And this one has the circular ring plus the centerpiece,
Yeah.
so it has lights.
yeah.
People are proud of granite, aren't they?
People are what?
Really proud of their granite, aren't they?
Well, I mean, rock-wise, I can see why you need a certain granite for the pole,
Yeah,
but it still should be decorative. It's not structural.
Right.
If we can put the thing in the ground with a flat slab, then the dome is decorative.
right.
So again, the 40, see, and we're talking about this hardscape.
But we get a lot of brick to buy later.
So, all right, so we've got the flag in the middle with the dome.
Yep.
And the lights around that.
No, the circle.
Do we have that?
Yep. I could go get you a copy in a second. if you want.
My folder exploded and I lost track of everything. It all went, oh, here
That's
we go.
it, well, that's it. Yeah,
So
oh, that's an old one, but that's okay.
Well,
We brought the ring in a
that's-
little bit for, it doesn't go all the way to the street anymore.
Okay,
So the
So-
20,100 is everything in the middle.
Yeah,
the 20,000 is for right around the flag.
yeah, and it's big, it's like 5 feet in circumference.
And then outside of that, I thought we had a drawing from
We
somebody
do,
just
we
the
do.
other.
Do you want me to go get it?
No, that's right. I've got it in here, I just, like I said, I dropped this and it's like 52 card pickup.
Why don't you run and get that?
There it is.
This?
Yep. That's it. Yeah. So it's the center,
It's $20,000
yeah,
with a ring of granite around it.
yeah.
Is that included in?
Is that grant included in that amount?
2-inch wide skirt, 2-inch thin, top base smooth. cut.
2 foot wide skirt, 2 inch thick, steeled top balance. I don't know what that means.
Actually, it's this one. This is it. So this is, Barry granite, steel base finish, 2-piece circular cut per sketch provided, flat hole drilled through 2 slabs. That's this one. This is just the surrounding, so it's 24,951.
Just for the centerpiece.
Yeah,
That doesn't include the 2 foot wide skirt of granite?
correct.
That's the 20,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
So just to do the center
yeah.
is 44,900. $45,000.
Yeah.
That little part right there.
Yeah, I understand that.
Not to make fun of it.
It's pretty big though.
Now, does the whole base have to be put in? Like if they just put the flat base to hold it, we can add the dome onto it later and,
We'd have to
It
get
fits
a
around.
crane to come in to pull up the flag.
oh, because with the hole, they
Yeah.
drill the hole in it, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem. So that's why and it's a lot of coordination between him and the flag company. Like Tom's gonna have to go down there a million times and they're gonna have to pour the footings for that. Then they're gonna have to put in the flagpole stuff to come up for them to join to. Then he's gotta put in his stuff. Then he's gotta be there when they attach the flag to it. That's why nobody wants to do it, because it's a pretty big job.
And then it's another $20,000 to put another ring around, but we'll have more for next year at that point.
Yeah.
It's just that we gotta order this year, on this year's budget.
Well, the thing is if we don't order it soon, it won't come for Veterans Day. It won't be installed, there's no way.
How long does it take?
Usually it takes about 4 months, minimum.
And we have no idea how much this is gonna cost us.
Right. I'm okay if you guys are not comfortable with it, we can just move on and,
Well, I mean, I know you want it done by Veterans Day. I'm just,
I know.
I mean,
Now,
if
this
there
40,000, that's just come out of this year's budget. How much did we get the first of the year?
No, we don't get anything at the first of the year. This is just a revolving account. This is our money. So I get money every time I make a deposit. So I already deposited $4,800 yesterday. That's not in here.
Well, there's a good question. What would be an average, or what's the 3-year average for your deposits? You said burials were up last year,
Yeah, I'm already at $55,000.
so that's an income forecast.
Yeah, so I would say
Sad as that is.
$70,000
Per year.
per year.
And
We also have the gift account for this
yeah,
veteran circle.
and what's the balance
So-
in that?
Right now, I haven't got all the checks in now. So the checks will be coming in. I've just got little checks from people that are giving me $20, $40 or whatever. But all of I'm going to speak at 2 more veterans groups. And the Mass SAR and the Cape Cod SAR are both giving us donations. And the Founders and Fathers are giving us a donation. And then the Society of Cincinnati's giving us a donation. They all have to have meetings to vote on what they're giving us. So those funds will be coming to us. So they also want to be very involved. And the Marine Corps of Cape Cod, I went and spoke with them. And they're giving a donation. Theirs is probably going to be like $1,000, but they also want to be the color guard for the Veterans Day services. They were very excited about this project. So, I mean, there's a lot of, as the more I go and talk to all these different groups, I'm getting people excited about this project. So, you know, it's up to you guys. This is your vote. I don't want to lean you anyway. I'm just, you know.
I kind of feel like I'd rather table it till next month to get some time to think about it myself, but it's up to you guys what you feel.
So next month, our meeting won't be to the 11th because we can't have it the first week of May because it's Maytown meeting. Not allowed to have meetings. that
Right,
week.
right.
So that's just gonna delay it more.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's.
So I mean, I
need
have,
time to
Cindy,
really-
I have reached out to every single person I can to try to get
Yeah.
them to bid on this, and I can't. So I'm just telling you, this has been 3 months. I've been calling and begging people to bid on it, and I cannot get anyone to bid on it. Either we're gonna have to change the design.
Do I have your fiscal year, the end of last fiscal year in this mess?
I don't know.
When is that?
It's July 1st, but I have, it's at the beginning of the sheet. I rolled over $80,000 from last year. So it was $83,130.50 was the end of the year balance last year. And we haven't specifically been spending big dollar amounts because we knew this project was coming. So, I mean, this is what we were holding on to it for.
It's a lot of money.
Well, it is, but I mean, it's a, it's a permanent
Thing.
That will need no maintenance.
I mean,
Once it's up.
You know, I always tell the kids, hindsight's 20/20, and can't dwell on that. If we were to prioritize software mapping versus Veterans Memorial, where would we have gone? I would have said, forget the software
Yeah, the veteran thing.
Yeah.
and go for the veterans thing. I mean, I think it's kind of too late now. We've already
Yeah.
committed to the contract for the Evergreen, so.
So we will, you know, I will be selling, this is my busy time to sell lots though. So I probably will be taking in at least $20,000 in lots in the next month or so,
Well, I mean, yeah.
which is pretty much what that's gonna cost. I mean,
Well, we've already earmarked 40,000
right,
of 45.
right.
So since we've already voted that 40,000 as an earmark, we're really not, excuse me, we're really not too far off,
No,
which would effectively bring our balance at 23,000. That's your cash reserve sitting in your checking account
Yeah.
at home, okay? So what else do we have coming up here?
that's it. I put everything we had coming up on the list. That's everything we've got.
Fiscal year ends when? July what?
First,
July 1st, so we got May, June, 2 months. And you can roll stuff over?
oh yeah, rolls over.
Well. Then I move that we accept both sides of the Crosby estimate and get cracking on the center. Because I think that there'll be, so it's really only a $5,000 increase. $5,000 increase.
But that will at least get the American flag, the lights and everything.
Yeah, and I think that will also help with, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a motion to accept Henry T. Crosby's bids on both sides?
Hang on, before we vote on this, so you talked to Tommy about this?
Yep.
And, I mean, Tommy's a smart guy, and he's
Yeah.
kind of conservative. And he's good with all of this,
Yeah.
and he thinks, he's pretty much signing his name to the Veterans Memorial Circle by taking on the centerpiece.
Yes.
That's a bias of mine. I tend to trust Tommy big time from coaching with him and stuff.
Right.
So this will get us a circle in the middle and this outside ring for the other flagpoles.
No,
I think it just gives us.
this gives us 5 feet of the center.
Well, this ring is part of the
So
center.
I wish I could show it to you.
So it goes like this is the ring,
Here,
and then this is, and then inside it is the flag holder.
that
And then
is
this
the
has-
center.
Oh, so the center is at 24,000 and the outside ring is another
So
20,000.
this comes up
Yes.
like this. So these are for the lights that will illuminate.
Yeah, so
Black.
that's the 20,000 where he says 2-foot wide skirt and 5-inch core holes. So
Well,
that
that's
must
for
be
the
the
lights.
lighting holes.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the center, which is really hard to see. It's,
Yeah.
I have a new
Yeah.
one. I should
I
give
mean,
you the new one.
well, so
Yeah.
it's,
It's 5 feet.
yeah. The center donut is,
Yeah.
the flag holder is, the American flag holder is 5 feet, yeah. And then it gives us the rings around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we just need to beg and plead that we really need to make it outside to the, whatever that is, the 55 feet.
We'll have to do grass. We
Well,
can
it's gonna have to
we
be.
can still install the other flags. They don't have to be in granite. They can still be installed, and then you can go back. And the granite circles that they do normally when they install, this is like cut, so they slide them in. They come in pieces because they're circular.
Yeah.
So they can put them in after the fact for the flags. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be hard once the flags are in to slide the granite in. What's hard is the center one. To install the American flag, we would have to lift that flag out. Because you would have to, a huge truck's gonna have to come drop that off.
Yeah, so I think on the Facebook page and your presentations to these groups is that, I mean, assuming we vote on this now, the center is set. And now we need to go out to include the service rings.
Yeah.
That now includes 5.5 groups because Space Force still doesn't know what they are, but, So that's
Yeah.
6. And then we'd like to take the bricks out to the benches.
So we do have people that have already said that they would donate the money for the benches. So,
Well, but now you've got a
yeah,
55-foot
right,
circle of brick that needs to go down.
right,
And that's got to be in concrete so it
Right.
doesn't get messed up.
right.
It's a bigger job.
Yep.
If you got to pour cement pad to put the brick down?
See, and this, Robin, this is why I say a project this size needs to be phased. So if we approve phase 1 today, then phase 2 is just going out to the next ring. Phase 3 is out to the edge of the circle. Phase 4 is the start of the Walk of Remembrance. CPC's covering the memorials,
Yep,
Civil War and Revolutionary War?
yeah, they are. It's on the town meeting floor and
If it gets voted.
If it gets
right.
voted in, yes.
So then our responsibility, phase 4, would be the start of the walkway.
Yep,
I mean, and that has to be, for lack of a better phrase, set in stone.
yeah,
So that in some future Something happens to you, something happens to the three of us.
Yeah,
And next thing you know, you've got a couple of burials, and that's where the Walk of Remembrance was going.
no, that's not even marked out, yeah.
But I mean, it has to be marked out
Right.
and designated,
So we probably want a survey of that.
Yep.
We're gonna do that for
Yeah, I
the
don't
next
know.
fiscal year.
yeah.
We're gonna, Paul actually drew it originally, and,
Yeah, there's a drawing of that somewhere.
so we're gonna have him look at that. So, you made a motion, is there any?
So, yeah, I move that we increase the 40,000, let's just do the Crosby estimate. I move that we accept both of the Henry T. Crosby and Son proposals to accomplish the center circle, the center of the circle, the American flag.
And we can still have that flag put in and the other service flags in there.
They can be put in without the granite there,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
As long as the granite can be stuck in
after,
afterwards.
they can. They can, we just have to have a survey, we can do that.
I
And
mean, by this, it looks like the service flags go through that granite.
they do, but when you go to there, they cut them like this, like I went to like a million different ones to look at them. Because they come and they're so huge.
Oh, so they abut them this way,
They
and there's the
slide in.
circle is
Yeah.
cut for the flag.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
puts it-
In the
It
sea.
slides in, yeah.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, again, there will be, if we do it right, there will be PR for Veterans Day.
Right,
And if we can get the coverage, and the last paragraph in the coverage, Mr. Gavin, or whatever his name is, at the Cape Cod Chronicle is
Yeah.
they're searching for donations to expand the circle. The full goal is this, phase 4, phase 5.
yep. So is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Once again, Robin has squeezed money. It's like when my kids call. Hi, Dad, how you doing? No,
What do you want?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't ask it. No.
Yeah, we gotta go home, I gotta go home and write.
So, Steve, that was Steve calling me with his update, so he didn't give it to me in time, so we don't have it for the meeting. So,
Who is this?
Steve was out there, he did all sorts of flyovers, and he's now indexing all the stones over at F Green, for the domain. So that's just a quick update on that.
Okay, that was the next thing, the software
Yeah.
bid.
So really not much of an update there.
Okay, town meeting articles, rules
So,
and regulations.
the rules and regulations have been submitted to the town clerk. This is the application thing. I mean, at any point, if we need to change the margins or do anything, as long as you don't change the content, it's good to go. So at town meeting, they're not gonna have this included in the packet, because the packet has so many articles. This is only gonna be at town hall for people, if they're interested in it, to go and pull it. So pretty much they'll just say, the rules and regulations are at the town hall.
And that'll be in the packet that goes out to the residents.
Correct.
So,
So,
town meeting night, there will be no, well, I
There'll
haven't
be-
had a chance to review this, I'm sorry, we published this.
yeah.
We've had 2 open meetings, so we're good with that.
And we've had a million of them.
Millions. That was a project and a half to get done.
Yeah. I know, and I'm so glad. It looks great. Really
And the
does.
CPC articles for the Revolutionary Memorial Civil Wars, that's all been.
Yep, that's all ready to go, and I'm getting great support. The other day I went to lunch, and this woman came up to me and she said, I would just like to give you $20. I really want that to get done. But not only that, people have been reaching out to me for, so every single person that's buried there, I'm looking up their birth date, their death date, and where they're buried, that are gonna be in each one of the memorials, the Revolutionary and the Civil War memorials. So I found some corrections in the town of Brewster where they had listed this gentleman as being a Revolutionary War soldier. He was not. It was his actual son who was actually buried in Maine or Vermont. But I can't believe how many of them were gifted land and moved from Cape Cod to Vermont or Maine. So a lot of them are buried up there. So it's a lot of interested information when you do the lineage stuff comes out, so it's kind of nice. That's the fun part about my job.
Just a side note on that.
Yeah.
Having done all this for the Mayflower Park.
Yeah.
I hate to see all of that research disappear.
Yeah, so I have a 3-ring binder book that,
That people can't access.
yeah,
that.
so we're gonna eventually, after it's finished, we're gonna try to see if we can scan it in maybe and have it available for either with Ginny over at the library or at Brooks Academy.
Well, if there's, okay.
Yeah, so they're the Historic Commission. So us too, we could have it on
Well,
our,
I'm just saying that as part of the memorial,
yeah.
that all of your research is available online.
Oh, yeah, we could put it on the website. He wants to do that anyways.
Yeah, so we have,
Yeah.
we have to get Caleb involved here, but we do the
We
Harwich
got Caleb's
Veterans
attention on
Memorial.
that one.
And then there's a page for each, and
Smirking over there.
as long as it can be scanned, he doesn't care.
It's pretty big.
Okay, any other,
We already did Bank Street.
any other old business?
So,
Do we want to, I know we're gonna run over to Bank Street, do we
Yeah.
wanna quickly go look at that, the drainage issue on our way back?
I have a dentist appointment at 12. So I'm gonna be at-
Oh, that'll be
That-
fine.
yeah, we-
Well, the three of us could run
Yeah,
over
yeah.
and take a quick peek at that.
Yeah, we
We
could
could,
do that. We'll go there first and then we'll go over to Bank Street.
Yeah, I mean, what do we,
Yeah. So then I forgot the cemetery fee schedule and stuff for the packet.
oh, yeah. Well,
We'll just keep that on for
We
next.
can move that for the next meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that needs to be up top. Because I mean, I just think that since it's in the rules, and the rules
Yeah.
are gonna get approved, hopefully are gonna get approved
Yep,
in a month,
yep.
I mean, that needs to pop right up so
Yeah.
that, again, it's support for you.
Right.
And then did we ever decide what we're gonna do about the gentleman was here last month looking for a letter of support for?
No, that got removed.
That got removed by
Yeah.
the town, yeah, I saw that on something, yeah.
So,
Really?
we
I mean, it's like,
They
yes,
just
nice
did
thought,
the
but
pesticides thing, I don't know. So we have the 3 bills, which is the John Deere tractor mower, $7,760.22.
we've already approved that, right?
Yeah, we already approved it.
Yeah.
Eversource,
Well, we gotta
$5
sign to
and
pay it now.
$5.88, and another Eversource for $15. So those the totals of our bills. And then I sold 2 cemetery lots since the last meeting. This one was 6 graves for $4,800, and this one was for $500. Well, they were both in Island Pond. Actually got a lot of ones coming up in Mount Pleasant. I have like 4 or 5 people buying in Mount Pleasant. And then I have someone that is interested in South Harwich, and then a couple more in Island. So it's been busy.
Blue and I have one.
Oh, I have tons of other stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, it finally got warm enough outside that my glue pen started writing it, keep it in the truck so I have a glue pen. It wasn't writing last month.
Why?
It was too cold. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, should I clip it? Yeah.
Yeah, next month we should, like, right off the bat, like, the number one thing should be the fee schedule.
Okay.
And if we have that already calculated and this is what it should look like, we ought to be able to just vote on it.
And I'll also work on
Because the math is done.
maybe a phase thing as well for Evergreen.
A who?
A phase plan.
Yes. And that can be also posted on the
Yeah.
the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I can borrow that from somebody. Thank you.
Oh, there's another one? But wait, there's more.
Wait.
Pen back. Thank you.
So we're gonna make a motion to adjourn and
When's the next meeting?
in 2 minutes when we leave this building.
No, the-
Oh, the 11th. I believe it's the
May
11th.
11th? That's a Wednesday.
No, okay, then it's the 10th,
10th.
sorry.
May 10th, that sounds reasonable.
For some reason.
When am I camping?
May 10th is a Wednesday.
It's
May
whatever
9th.
that Tuesday is.
May 9th.
May 9th is the Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm camping at some point, but I think I'm coming home on Monday, so
So,
I'm tired of driving around this country.
10:05. Who's making the motion?
Do I have a motion to adjourn, to
So moved.
re-adjourn?
10:05. Rob seconds. Cindy? Unanimous?
Yep.
Yep.